Considering how popular the Looney Tunes franchise is, you would think that their games would be as popular too? Well, no, not really. They're unfortunately forgotten, and most of them are hidden gems. Bugs Bunny Lost in Time is one of those games too. And it's a shame since it's one of my favorite games of all time. It's a 3D collectathon platformer developed by Behavior Interactive. Yes, the same Behavior Interactive that made Dead by Daylight. Trust me, I was as surprised as you were. And published by Infogrames, which honestly sounds like a cereal brand. It released in 1999 for the PlayStation 1 and the Windows machine. And when you've played a game hundreds of times, you tend to get really good at it. So you seek some sort of challenge to do to not make the game boring on your 101st playthrough. I am one of those people, and fortunately for me, there's a challenge in the form of achievements for Lost in Time, and those are the Hitless achievements. But wait, you might be wondering, what do I mean by achievements? Well, let me introduce you to Retro Achievements, a site where a bunch of retro gamers gathered and made achievements for games abandoned by the past. And there's a set for Bugs Bunny Lost in Time. Honestly, most of the achievements are bland. Get all of the collectibles in a level, learn a spell that Merlin teaches you, break a certain amount of Acme crates, and if you didn't understand anything I just said, I won't be explaining anything, play the game for yourself. But, like I said, there are these hitless achievements. Complete the entire level without getting hit. Not really. You see, some levels have a boss at the end of them, and the hitless achievement in those levels only require you to beat the boss without taking damage. So, I took it upon myself to get them all and tell you my experience with it, and rank each level based on how difficult it was to beat it hitless using this tier list right here. I won't go over each level as it's unlocked, by the way. Instead, I'll go over each time period, which there are 5 of, and cover the levels in those time periods in order. And just a disclaimer, I have beaten this game so many times, and I have a disgustingly high amount of knowledge when it comes to the controls and the layouts of each level. So, some of these levels are going to be a bit biased, okay? Oh yeah, I should go over the controls, right? It's all explained in the tutorial really well, so I won't be going over them. And before I start, if you want to get these achievements yourself, I suggest beating the level first. Collect everything there is, then try to beat it hitless. So, without further ado, the first time period is the Stone Age, and the first level in there is... Ouch! Wabbit on the Run. And I kinda forgot to mention, but most of these levels play a cutscene once you enter them. The cutscene for Wabbit on the Run starts at... oh my... Elmer Fudd has seen better days. He's the leader of this tribe, I assume? And their main objective is simple, hunt something that did not even exist back then. And the cutscene ends with Bugs being chased by these 3 gentlemen. Okay, so about the level. And, it's the first level of the game. Do you expect it to be hard? It's very short. You can beat it in a little bit over 2 minutes. The first thing you'll notice is that the enemies for the cutscene appear. None of the enemies in the game have names, so I'll just call these guys Eggheads. They are the primary enemy in the Stone Age. How the Eggheads work, and this is how 90% of these enemies function, is that they'll run up to you, chase you, and if they're out of their range, they'll get tired. If they're close, they'll attack. Once they're tired, you can attack them. Small enemies, like this egghead here, need to be jumped on, then kicked. Most of the time, you'll be avoiding them as they don't really get in your way. And if you think that it will be hard to defeat them, lower your expectations. I mean, at first, it probably might be tricky, but most of the enemies can be simply avoided by consecutively pressing the L1 button, which lets Bugs do a roll. This actually speeds you up, meaning that the enemies can't catch up to you. Or if you're in a position where you can't get past an enemy, like in this part of the level here, where you have to wait for the dinosaur to get closer so you can jump on him. Once he's chasing you, run back and jump once he's about to attack. It is the most reliable way to get rid of them. The last part is extremely easy, just make your way up to the exit and that's it. There's this pterodactyl present and you have to sneak around it so you don't wake it up, as if you do, it grabs you and puts you further back in the level. Huh, I wonder what it's dreaming about.
Come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth. I'm feeling romantical.
Again, the level is not that difficult to beat Hitless, it's very easy. Once you beat it, the next Stone Age level is unlocked, and it is...
Ouch!
Guess who needs a kickstart? Boss level. And yes, you guessed it, it's Elmer Fudd. And what I find cool is that in the cutscene, it shows you how to deal with him, and Bugs? Bugs, what are you doing? Stop it! He is constantly chasing you, and you have to enter one of the rabbit holes, and he'll begin searching for you. What you have to do is get out of a different rabbit hole, kick him from behind, and repeat the process 2 more times. And how difficult is it to beat Hitless? Well, the entire boss can be beaten in under 40 seconds. That tells you everything. You can jump in a rabbit hole once he's 50 to 60ish% on his way to you, and he just poses no threat at all. The animation for when he searches for you is way too long, and by the time it's done, your grandchildren will have children, and you don't even need to hit him from the behind for it to count. You can do it in the front like I just did here. And I do not want to repeat myself, this boss is extremely easy.
Ouch!
Magic hair blower, and it begins exactly like Wabbit on the Run. This isn't a joke or anything, the first half of the level is literally Wabbit on the Run, but at nighttime. Well, there are some changes, like there are these scorpion enemies that appeared in levels before this one, and that the first trampoline here is removed. What you're supposed to do is jump on this dinosaur so you can make it onto the trampolines, but here's a cool thing you can do. If you jump and then press R1, Bugs does a dive move, which I'm certain it was made only to enter levels. This mechanic is useless. But this dive gives you extra height, and with this said extra height, you can make it onto platforms that you're not supposed to. Like with this trampoline here, it's really useful to know. Anyways, back to the level. Like I said, the first part is literally Wabbit on the Run with some minor changes. Once you go past the pterodactyl though, you'll see why this level is called Magic Hair Blower. You see, in the intro, I skipped over these magic spells you can learn throughout the game. Well, not can learn, more like must learn, since you cannot beat some levels without learning them. There are 4 of these, and let's just quickly go over them. There's Super Jump, which, I'm not sure what it does, used only twice. Magical Tune, which lets Bugs drop the sickest mixtape you'll ever hear. Used only twice. There's Magical Password, which lets Bugs open blocked passageways, used only twice. And the spell used in this level, the Magical Fan, which spawns a fan that you can use for a limited time, again, used only twice. These spells are insanely situational, mostly used to get more collectibles to 100% the game. Oh yeah, to activate a spell, go over the tile and just press R1. Just want to mention that when you activate a spell, Bugs looks so confused while doing it. Like, yeah mate, I wonder why they added this to the game as well. How the fans function is when you jump on them, you'll begin floating up. Crazy, I know. And when you press X, Bugs will launch himself up, allowing you to make it to other platforms while you're on the fan itself. Not too complicated. Past the part from Wabbit on the Run is not that much harder, to be honest. There's this egghead here that throws these boulders which swerve, and which you have to avoid. This guy is present at the beginning of both this level and Wabbit on the Run, but every time I make it before he throws the boulders, so I didn't really comment on it. I actually got hit here because I did not expect the boulders to swerve. But yeah, once you know that every boulder he throws goes in the same direction, it's extremely easy to avoid. Past him is another egghead which will immediately attack you once you go through this hole, and he is extremely easy to deal with. The rest of the level is easy too. You need to push these timbers to make it to the exit, and I assume the developers are trolls. There's actually a pterodactyl, and you have to sneak to get to the exit. Magic Hair Blower is a little bit harder since I actually got hit twice, but honestly, it's just because I am dumb as fuck. On the topic of getting hit, I just want to mention that once Bugs gets hit, he doesn't scream in pain. He goes, which is so funny to me. He sounds so pissed. He's like, hey bitch, what the fuck? And with this, we are done with the Stone Age. There's actually one more level called Wabbit or Duck Season, which, yep, it looks like the Stone Age to me. Anyways, the entire premise of this level is that you have to hit these signs and turn them over to the image of Daffy. If there are more signs of Daffy, you win, and vice versa. You cannot get hit in this level at all, so it isn't on the list. There is, however, an achievement for getting all signs to show Daffy, which is as piss easy as every level in the Stone Age. You can stun Daffy, which makes him shit bricks, allowing you to easily get every sign to show Daffy under the given time period. Anyway, with that, we can move over to the next time period, the Pirate Years, with the first level in there being Ouch! Hey, what's up dog? Starts with Yosemite Sam looking through his spyglass using his forehead. Off to a great start. This stage has a boss at the end, so you only have to beat the boss Hitless. This boss is, of course, Yosemite Sam. How it works is that you have these nine of these. Seriously, I have no idea what they actually are. Yosemite Sam will then fire from his cannon where you are standing, so you just have to jump on a different platform. The platforms that the cannonballs hit then get sunk, meaning you cannot jump on them anymore, and after some time, they will rise back up. Then, once he's done shooting the cannon, he will throw a barrel of explosives at you, at which you will have to grab it and throw it back to him. After that, he then fires multiple cannon shots randomly, although one cannon shot will always be headed towards the platform you're standing on. It isn't that difficult though, you can tell where the cannon shots are heading at, although at later phases, once he starts firing cannonballs faster and at a higher quantity, things can get yeah. At the end of the day though, the boss is again not that difficult. He fires off the cannon really slowly, and again, you can see where the cannonballs are heading to, so when he starts firing off multiple of them, it isn't really an issue determining where you will go. It's either that or the fact that I played this game so much that I memorized every level. Call it either a gamer move or extreme virgin behavior. Before I move on the levels where you only have to beat the boss Hitless, make sure before you enter the boss to save the game by going to these propeller hats. If you don't do it and get hit, you have to redo the entire level from the start. Ouch! Follow the Red Pirate Road is actually a very unique level. The end is right here where you spawn, but it is blocked by a boulder. Why can't Bugs just crawl underneath since there's clearly enough space for him to do so? Well, because, yes! Yes!
Subscribe for more happy video game reviews.
If you didn't skip the cutscene, and if you're the type of person who does that, what the fuck is wrong with you, you can actually see the combination of logs you have to jump on to move the boulder. Left, right, up, down, and then the one to the side. But it opens the left pathway. In it, there is a compass drawn on the floor, with each direction being a separate room. You have to collect these wooden wheels and place them on a helm post in each respective room to unlock a door so you can proceed with the level. These rooms aren't that hard. In the room marked with West, the only enemies are the scorpions that move slower than my dead grandma, so they're not that much of a threat. In the room to the north, you have a pirate that just runs around in a circle. You have to wait for him to get tired and... well, he isn't that much of a threat either. The last room, the room to the east, can be tricky because of these scorpions that stand still and throw, but you can easily avoid them. Do you see how this path to the helm post looks like? Well, you can just go to the side and completely ignore the enemy. Once you unlock the other part of the level, the underground portion, the difficulty spikes up. You have this gentleman here who will chase you. They appeared in the previous level. Hey, what's up, Doc? And how they work is they will chase you until they get tired. And then you have to kick them from behind and then they'll be gone. Dead. How many people did Bugs Bunny kill? Ta-da! Anyways, this guy I guess is just built differently because he doesn't get tired, meaning he'll chase you forever. Once you go to the underground portion of the level though, he'll be waiting for you right next to the hole, so make sure he doesn't catch you off guard. The underground part is the hardest part in the level. Not literally hard, it's not that challenging. Avoid the fireballs when you're on platforms, which isn't that hard to do. There are also these pirate enemies that stand on these boxes and should throw barrels at you, but their reaction time is, it doesn't exist. The problem is with this part here, with the platforms that you have to jump on. They're not that hard, but there's a problem with depth perception. Like, what did I do wrong here? And also the scorpion at the last portion here. I mean, you can see the issue, right? What I did is I waited for the scorpion until he started throwing the pointy tail thingy, jumped over it, but went to the side and then immediately jumped next to it. It isn't that hard to pull off, you just have to know that every second-ish or so, the scorpion does its attack, so you can time your jumps correctly. After you open the path to the exit, thankfully there's a door that leads you all the way to the beginning, so you do not have to backtrack. The room where you exit is... oh, it is quite something. These floating platforms that circle around are slippery and wonky. Like, no, actually, what the fuck is this? Thankfully, at the next attempt, I beat it, but this is all just luck. I have no clue when or where you have to land on them to not fall down. This level is not that tough, but not too easy. It provides a good challenge. Well, all the way up until the last part, which is just bullshit.
Ouch!
When Sam at Bunny is a boss level, and a very fun one at that. You see, both of you are on ships. Sam has 3 cannons, which he'll randomly shoot one. You only have one, and you have to catch the cannonball with the cannon. Then a part of his ship will begin to flash, and you have to go to that part to shoot a cannonball, damaging his ship. It's a really fun boss, with you needing to juggle Sam's unpredictable cannonballs and shooting at his ship. You cannot hold more than 1 cannonball in your cannon, by the way. If you try to catch another one while holding a cannonball, will result in you taking damage. That's not all though. After damaging his ship, the second part of the boss will begin. Sam is now blowing these barrels of explosives at you, and you have to push them back to the ship. And what's interesting is that Sam can also blow them back again, depending if he's where the barrels are heading. You do this 2 times actually. This part isn't hard at all, just tedious. Sam moves randomly, and most of the time he'll head to the barrel that's about to blow up, so it takes a long time for this phase to end. Again, the boss is not hard, just tedious. I mean, just look at this. He doesn't speed up or anything, everything is the same. It's still a fun boss though.
Ouch!
Minor Mine has a boss at the end of the level, so you only have to beat it without getting hit. And it's... Yosemite Sam again. You little fucker, you just won't die, huh? There are 2 parts to Minor Mine. The first one is the normal platforming part, but as you enter his tomb, you'll be in an auto-scrolling section in a minecart. This part, where you have to push Sam into these barrels, you can get hit actually. Only when his health bar appears is when you cannot get hit. On this part, where the boss actually starts, you go in circles. Sam will randomly put bombs and explosives on your path, and when he's close, you just have to give him a kiss on the tip and put him to bed. To be honest, for this level being the last Pirateers level you play, and at the end of the game by the way, you would expect this to be hard, or at least a little bit difficult, but no, it's really easy. He dies in 3 hits. 3 hits! And the explosives are so easy to jump over. I don't have anything else to say. In my opinion, it has the same difficulty as the Elmer Fudd boss fight. And with that, we've covered all Pirateers levels. The next time period is the 1930s, and the fun fact, this one has the most levels. While other time periods have 4, this one has 5. So let's begin with the first one, and that is...
Ouch!
The Big Bang withdrawal requires you to beat the bosses without taking damage, so you can play the rest while getting hit. Before I continue, I need to say that every level in the 1930s time period has a boss at the end of the stage, or is a boss level. Well, technically, for one you can argue that it isn't a boss, but we'll get there when we get there. Oh yeah, if you paid close attention, you heard me say bosses. Yes, in this level there are 2 bosses that you have to beat hitless. One is right outside where you spawn, after the part where you can beat up a dog. Seriously, what the fuck? Both bosses are against Rocky and Muggsy, by the way, and this first one cannot even be called a boss. You have to defeat Muggsy as he chases you around, and he is barely a threat, as he is slower than your walking speed. To deal with him, you can either tire him out so you can kick him from behind, or get him under an anvil, in which he'll go Do that 3 times and boom, you're done. While Muggsy is chasing you, Rocky will throw bombs at you, and those are barely a threat at all. They take a long time to detonate, and you can pick them up and throw them at these walls to get more collectibles, so that's a way to get rid of them. This boss fight is piss easy, so how does the other one compare? It's at the end of the level and it isn't that much harder either. It's essentially the same thing, kind of. Muggsy is still chasing you, and well, the AI for him might be worse here. The difference being you must wait for him to get tired so you can hit him. After doing said thing, Rocky will be pissed, and that's when you can jump on his head. After you jump on his head, hide behind somewhere, as Rocky will do a 360 and shoot from his rifle. Muggsy should chase you while Rocky is shooting, I think. Muggsy moves incredibly slow and gets tired easily, so he is not a threat whatsoever. Neither is Rocky. After jumping on his head, just hide and that is it. These bosses are again extremely easy, requiring no thought to beat it. Maybe the next one will be fun and challenging.
Ouch!
No. The boss for the greatest escape is Muggsy, and you're on a rooftop again. You see how Muggsy works is that he'll be moving towards where you are standing, and then randomly throw a bomb at you. You then have to pick it up, wait until he's close, wait until the bomb almost detonates, and then throw it back at him while Muggsy looks like he's about to shit himself. You would think for this boss that you have to manage Muggsy coming closer to you while timing the bomb detonation. Oh, I laugh like a dad. When he throws a bomb, grab it, wait for him to come to your platform, and then just jump on the ledge. That will make him confused, and he will stand in place like that until you get back on the platforms. So just wait until the bomb is about to detonate and throw it at him. I'm actually speechless. I'm not sure if this is the correct way to beat Muggsy, but still, wow. Actually kind of sad for Muggsy and his shit-eating grin.
Ouch!
Very short name, I know. Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear is probably one of my favorite levels in the game. It's just so different from the rest. This level is a vehicle segment, and you have to escape from Rocky and Muggsy while being chased by them, I think? The level itself is not that hard, it's just very fun. Anyways, if you look at the achievement for this level, Baby Driver, and read the description, it goes, complete objects in the mirror are closer than they appear without dying. Not without getting hit, without dying. Why is that? Well, I don't think beating this level without getting hit is possible. You see, when you're being chased, Rocky will poke his head out of the car window and shoot at you. and you cannot dodge these bullets at all. Especially during the last part of the level, where you're on a farm. Not only are the bullets unavoidable, the barn fences get in the way too. Just look how much health I'm losing. It probably is possible to beat it hitless, but it either requires you to be really good at the level or have extreme luck. Anyways, this level is not that hard either. Just keep collecting carrots to refill your health, especially at the barn part. You know, speaking of it, I hate how Rocky is surgically attached to Muggsy's back. Like, is your grip that strong, or have you learned to float?
Ouch!
My favorite 1930s gangster-themed level, I'm going to disappoint you once again. This level is really easy. You have to wait for the bull to charge at you, and you just have to trick it to hit the red painted wood with a white circle on it. Just wait until it's close to you, then move right. Although, if it hits these barrels, it will actually cancel its charge, meaning you'll have to wait for the ball to charge again. What I recommend is, if that happens, just go to a different spot. If you stay on the same one, it will charge sideways, and you will get hit. Its range is massive. Again, not that much to talk about. It's really easy. You know, most of these levels and bosses weren't that hard to beat. It just requires basic hand and eye coordination. Maybe the last level of this time period will change that.
Ouch!
The boss of Carrot Factory starts and... Oh, I just have 3 words. Fuck this boss fight. Oh wait, that's 4. It's a quite short boss fight. You have to wait for Rocky to get under one of these 3 anvils and push its respective button to drop it. That isn't an issue, okay? Everything else is. First off, Muggsy. I guess he came back with a vengeance because holy fuck, he is the main issue. You see, this dumbass has a gun now and he can shoot you. And when he shoots you, you cannot avoid it because you'll be close to him since you have to grab one of these hammers and hit him. When does he shoot? It's random. It's fucking random. I'm being serious. Sometimes he can shoot once, sometimes he can shoot multiple times, and sometimes he doesn't shoot at all. Everything about him is random. So, every time you get him, you have to pray to the lost-in-time RNG gods so the odds are in your favor. What's worse is that when you pick up the hammer and want to hit him, you usually panic, causing you to hit early, or just miss him entirely, and that somehow always activates this little fucker. Also, the hammer's range is so small. Like, what the fuck? I clearly hit him. The worst part, you have to do this 2 more times. Since you have to hit Rocky thrice, this big fat piece of shit appears 2 times. Wanna know something funny though? He's not the only part that makes this achievement so hard to get. You see, on the platform where the buttons are for the anvils, you have this little electrical current thing that is looping for the edges of said platform. Not a problem, right? It's easy to avoid. But the problem is, every time the cutscene for Muggsy entering the level plays, the objects don't freeze. Meaning, after the cutscene finishes playing, and a reminder, you'll be standing right where the electrical current is going. Most of the time, it'll be a lot of this. Fun, isn't it? I'm not done, by the way. I am not done. You see, Rocky can shoot from his pistol, and sometimes not. This is also random, although from what I think is that if you're still, he'll begin shooting. And if that happens... Another thing, see these explosive crates? Rocky can shoot them, and what the actual fuck is that range? And there are these gangsters that can randomly come out of these barrels and shoot in circles, and it's just... Fuck this level. Continue Muggsy abuse. But thankfully, we are done with the 1930s period, and I hope that the next time period, the medieval period, won't have bullshit hard bosses. So let's see if that's true with the first level in there.
Ouch!
Fuck this level too. Okay, not really. The level has a boss at the end, and it's quite... something. There are actually 2 of these guards, which are just a bigger version of the normal guard present in this level. He works like every other enemy in the game, he just chases you and you have to hit him when he gets tired. Although when he's close, he'll hit you with his hammer. That's how these guys work, exactly the same. That isn't an issue. You see, when one of the guards go down, the other one will get mad because he realizes that he isn't a certified stud.
Holy shit! Pimpy son up! I love Pimpy son up!
And will go crazy and charge at you while hitting his hammer multiple times. He is faster than you. And their hammers work in mysterious ways, I swear. Like, I guess he hits me? You may be wondering, how do I beat the boss Hitless when there's only one guard left? Fucking beats me. After many attempts of the guard eventually coming closer to me and hitting me, the game just decided that I won't get hit, even though I was in the hammer's range. Look, up until there's one guard left, the boss is easy, but the last part is just absurd. And the fact that I beat it by doing absolutely nothing is just... I have no words, okay? Oh yeah, since this is a retro achievements video, I kind of don't talk about the achievements, huh? I decided to mention it here since the name of the Hitless achievement got a laugh out of me. Like, it's a Borat reference, how could I not laugh? But honestly, most of the achievement names are not that creative. We got Primordial Perfection, Golden Legs, Prehistoric Perfection, Captain Hairblower, a hidden hair in the hideout. Okay, that is actually not a bad one. And my favorite, Canon Expert. Fucking Canon Expert. I love it.
Ouch!
Get it? Like, which way to Albuquerque? Like, it's which, but it's supposed to be which? The level begins by Witch Hazel materializing out of nowhere. Which way to Albuquerque is a very fun level. You see, it still plays like a normal level, but you're under a time limit. You can find that out by reading the sign, where it says, "Past this line, run! Run for your fucking life!" You have to collect these clocks so the timer doesn't run out. Along the level, there will be obstacles that get in your way, including Hazel herself. Just wait until she fires off these beams, by the way. The timer is very lenient, so you don't have to worry about it running out. While we're on this cliffside part, here, you need to wait for these two boulders to fall down. And it can be tricky since you're standing on a platform that's about to fall off. I never had any trouble with that though, because I'm a gamer. In fact, most of the cliffside part is waiting. Wait for Hazel to fire off her beams, and wait for the boulders to fall down. And it's honestly more of the same on this forest part. She shoots at these trees that fall down and they won't do any damage to you at all. It's just to cause a minor inconvenience. There's this part here where 3 knights charge at you and, well, yeah, just go uphill. The last part of the level is located in a barn, and the only way to collect these clocks is by jumping on the picks or on the haystacks. The timing is very weird though, because most of the time you'll just miss it. And after that, you're done. I don't have anything more to add really. It's a tough level, but not a challenging one.
Ouch!
The cutscene for this one is just hilarious to me. You see, I play these games at the highest quality possible, with 16:9 aspect ratio, so it makes the footage watchable. And that sometimes, well, breaks some games because they are in a 4:3 aspect ratio. Doesn't really break them, but for this instance here, where Hazel is chasing bugs, they just materialize out of nowhere, and it's so funny to me. Anyways, about the level. Here you learn 2 magic spells, and one of these being Magical Password. And you have to use it to beat all 5 of these challenges and collect the stars to open up the exit. but they just stay completed after you beat the level. Meaning, after getting past this ice section, which isn't really that hard, the ice physics are fucking phenomenal, unlike in most games. But yeah, you just have to make your way up to the exit, which isn't even that hard. Just stay near the edge so the snow boulders don't hit you, and you're done. Next level, I beg.
Ouch!
Downhill Duck works in a similar way to Which Way to Albuquerque. You have to beat the level under a time limit, the difference being this level is an auto-scroller as you're skiing. And of course, you have to collect clocks so the timer doesn't run out. You can hold X to speed up, and you wanna know a tip for beating this level hitless? Don't speed up. If you collect every clock without speeding up, excluding the one where it's located on a fence, you will hit it, you can beat the level with a shit ton of time left on the clock. The only real threat here are the snow boulders, which will take you some time to get used to them. Not that hard of a level inherently, but these boulders can be a real op. With Downhill Duck completed, we can move on to the last time period in this game, Dimension X, with the first level appropriately titled
Ouch!
Planet X-File has a boss at the end of the level, and it is Marvin the Martian. You have to dodge lasers for Marvin atomic weapon. There are actually 4 phases to this fight. The first one, Marvin only fires off green and red lasers. To avoid the green lasers, you have to crouch under them, and to avoid the red lasers, you have to jump over them. There isn't a set pattern of these lasers, he fires them off randomly. In the second phase, he adds this energy ball thing that covers either the left or the right half of the level, and if you touch it, you get electrocuted. On the third phase, he shoots off a set of energy balls, and you have to stand on the far left or the far right side to avoid them, while of course firing off his lasers in between shooting the energy balls. And in the final phase, he combines everything. Doing this level hitless is almost like an endurance run, and you guessed it, it's hard. The lasers have a very weird hitbox. Like, yeah, that hit me. You can also, at the beginning of a phase, just shoot directly at you. Like, this happens randomly. I have no idea what causes it. Thankfully, this boss is really fun though. It's my favorite boss in the game. Shame the hitless achievement completely ruins it. The hitbox of these lasers, while being completely bullshit, like seriously, what even is this, I can handle, somewhat. It's still very infuriating. But what drew me through the roof was the random laser aimed directly at you. Like, why is this a thing? Both of these factors made the hitless achievement very hard to get. All I can say is good luck and be patient. Try to learn the timing to avoid the lasers, even though it is weird. Side note, you wanna know what made this boss worse? You see, it was my first attempt. I started the boss, got zapped, and I restarted. No issue, right? Well, when I got back to the boss in my second attempt, this happened. Yep. I have no idea what caused this. I genuinely thought I couldn't beat the boss hitless because of that. What I figured out is that I can make it safely to the first phase by standing here, and then jumping. And then praying so the boss didn't start on the side I was at. Otherwise, I would have been toast. Yeah, that made the boss 10 times more fun, I can assure you. Just look at my reaction when I finally beat him. Oh, I fucking did it! Oh my fucking god!
Ouch!
Vortex Room is a boss level, and you fight against Marvin again. Thankfully, there are no lasers with bullshit detection here. In fact, this boss is extremely easy. He's in this spaceship thingy, and he throws these green discs, and you have to pick them up and throw them at his ship. Do that 5 times and you've beaten him. Like I said, this boss is barely a challenge. You have so much time to pick up these discs and throw them at him, and Marvin just stands there and does nothing. I mean, he can fire off the laser, but To be honest, I have no clue when he does it. Like, I assume it's if I'm standing still, since he did shoot it for like a split second when I wasn't doing anything. Again, nothing more to add, this boss is really easy.
Ouch!
Conquest for Planet X is the final race level. You race against Marvin, and you have to get to the end before running out of time, while, of course, getting clocks to increase the timer. This level is filled with entrances that lead you to nowhere, so this is the route I took. When you start the level, go for the first entrance, then fall down and go for here, that's faster. Then enter the entrance in the middle. These boulders are easy to avoid, just wait for them to fall and break before continuing. Then go for the second last entrance. Now, the boulders here are a little bit trickier, mostly because the last two boulders are close to each other, meaning you can't wait in between for the boulders to fall down. Jumping to the side works wonders though. Once you're done, you can actually skip the entire process of having to get this platform down by just jumping near the wall of the cliff. This is way safer than to lower the platform, since the Martian down here is really unpredictable. Although, the jump has really weird timing too. I have nothing more to say, the entire level is alright, and it's a little bit hard at the end.
Ouch!
We're at the last level of this time period, and of the game. How to train your brain. Or Space Speedway, as it's called in the loading screen. I have no clue if this is a mistake, or if the level was originally supposed to be called that. Anyways, the level starts with you having to play a game of memorization. You have to repeat every move this Martian makes. And if you're above the age of 5, this is easy. The combinations aren't that complicated. Pass him is another memorization minigame. This time you have to look at the pattern and memorize it. There are 3 levels to this, with the first one being the easiest, while the last one being the hardest. And yet again, if you're above the age of 5, this isn't a problem either. If you jump on it once, it will be a red tile. If you jump on it twice, it'll be a green tile. And if you jump on it thrice, it will erase itself. What I recommend is for the hardest patterns to do one color. Like, first fill out the red tiles, then the green ones. Past this minigame, you get in a warp and have to turn on a switch to disable a gate. On the path, you have these green blocks that appeared in Planet X file. How they work is, if you jump on one, a different one will appear. You have to jump across them in a given time period since the previous one will disappear. This again isn't an issue. Next you have this part. If you touch the red tiles, you get burned. So, of course, you have to avoid them. This again is not that hard. You see, you'll actually know when the tiles will turn red based on these yellow ones. They signal that on the next pattern they will turn red. After disabling the gate, you have to backtrack, and then you'll be warped to the next part of the level. And fuck this part, man. There's no depth perception, meaning that jumping over the lasers is extremely hard. And they work the same as Marvin's lasers from Planet X file. So that's very fun, isn't it? This part costs me so many retries just because you cannot turn your camera to the side so you can see where the lasers are exactly going. That or I'm fucking stupid. Probably that, honestly, considering this was one of the failed attempts. Anyways, past these lasers, you have another minigame, and you have to find the right color combination. Fuck this part 2. The only hint you're given is that the same color never appears in a single row, and that does not help in the slightest. Thankfully, if we go to a site called speedrun.com and check out the page for Bugs Bunny Lost in Time, under the guides category there's a guide for mastermind patterns. And go look at the third graph. It took me a moment to understand how to read it, but your first guess is red, light blue, orange, light blue. Then, if any of these colors match, meaning they have a crown on them, then the correct answer will be whatever color are next to the pattern you got. Seriously, fuck this part, man. The worst thing is that we're not done. We have the last part of the level, this speedway section. This is... The Martian you race against is extremely annoying. If you do so much as touch it, it will affect your trajectory and slow you down. And then you have these poles that you have to grab on. Seriously, fuck them. The timing once you get on top is weird, so what I recommend doing is spinning counterclockwise. That's what's at least comfortable for me. Once you're done with the speedway section, you're done with the level. Man, this took a while, huh? The first half of the level is fine, it's not hard, but the rest is just... like, if I have to look at a spreadsheet to find the correct pattern, what does that tell you about the minigame? Thank you so much for watching. If you're doing the challenge yourself and you're still stuck on some parts, there's a playlist with all of my attempts, well, videos, in the description. And if you notice something different, is because I'm recording this on the date that I'm probably going to publish the video, which is June 28th. And yeah, this video took way too long. I was procrastinating a lot, mainly because of school finals. And now that the semester is over, that means I'm on summer break, I can work on videos more. Yippee. The challenge was, it was a mess. I mean, most levels are really easy, while some, well, you saw I wanted to rip my fucking hair out. Do I recommend doing this? I mean, why not? If you like free collectathon platformers, then go ahead. Nothing really will hurt you. And if you're wondering where did my 2 videos go, they've been moved to PowerNap, which is a group channel with me and my friend. I have no clue what to call him anymore, since he doesn't go by Gibbo or Greasebell anymore. Lol. But we'll be doing content that isn't gaming related, so stay tuned for that. And, wow, I still don't know how to end these videos. Bye!